All right, Dad, the latest data from TransUnion.
Yes.
The quarterly update on the state of auto loans. Not looking good.
Well, it's looked better.
Let's read the headline here. Again, from TransUnion, one of the big three credit bureaus. Auto loan delinquencies on the rise, but consumers continue to place great value on such loans.
Do you know what that means? When they say delinquencies are on the rise, but consumers continue to place great value on such loans.
What does that mean, Dad?
It means they'll stop paying their credit card bills before they stop making their car payment.
A new TransUnion study, quote, a critical eye on auto performance, found that despite an increase in serious auto loan delinquencies, consumers possessing multiple credit products continue to value auto loans nearly as much as mortgages and much more than credit cards.
I love this. Consumers possessing multiple credit products. Why can't we just say consumers in debt?
We will, let's get into the data. We'll also tie this back to the latest CFPB data that we referenced earlier this year. And then, let's get your take on the state of the economy a little bit as well, Dad.
Just the way we phrase things.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. All right, the meat and potatoes here. The piece that really stood out to me, Dad, is point-in-time auto loan delinquency rates from Q2 2018 to Q2 2022. Okay, so we don't even have Q3 numbers yet. This is
Which
Q2.
will probably be worse.
I mean, yes. Every leading indicator we have suggests that Q3 credit performance will be worse. Consumer credit performance will be worse. Here's what you need to look at, Ted. 90 days past due.
Yes.
The bottom line on the table there, in 2018, it was 0.39%.
Okay.
In 2019, it was 0.41%. In 2020, it was 0.8%. So we saw a significant increase in 2020. 2021, it was 0.65%. It has bumped back up to 0.79%. We are seeing more people. It's more than double where we were in 2018. More people 90 days past due on their car
90
loans.
days plus past due. So that could be 120, 150 days past due. But typically once you start reaching the 90 days plus past due, you're in line for a repossession. You're in line to come out to your car one day and it just not be there anymore.
60-day past due or more. We're up to 1.43%, the highest we've ever seen in the past 5 years. 30 days past due, we're up to 3.34%. That's up an entire point, Dad. Nearly an entire point from a year ago.
Yes.
Let that sink in for a moment.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes. You can, and when you look at these numbers, you can see an ebb and flow to delinquencies.
Yep.
And my guess is that there's going to be a greater flow of delinquencies moving forward as interest rates continue to go up and inflation continues to rear its ugly head. So you're thinking about selling your car. Go to joinyaa.com/sell and just enter the information once and get all the offers in one place. It's just that simple.
Now, we get these reports from the big credit bureaus every so often. They typically do them quarterly. One of the other things that TransUnion looked at was the vintage performance. And we talked about this, and we have a great article back on the Join YAA website that breaks down the CFPB's vintage data. And essentially what a vintage is how did a cohort perform over time relative to other cohorts? So for example, what we're looking at here is how did a particular cohort, so a group that was originated within a particular quarter, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 of any given year, how did it perform then 6 months later? So we're saying, how did that vintage mature? And we do the same thing with the CFPB data. So what we're looking at here, Dad, is Q4 in particular.
Okay.
Q4, loans that originated in Q4 of 2019. 6 months later, 1.11% of them had begun to go delinquent.
A low enough percentage that on your
people
books.
Can work on. That's fine. Bigs can work. In 2021, that same group, people who originated in Q4 in 2021. So we're not even into 2022.
Well, no, this would be people who originated in Q2 of 2021.
Nope.
And then 6 months later.
Nope.
Okay, whatever. It just seems to me they would have had to originate 6 months before.
No, they then track them for 6 months after.
Okay.
So we're saying the group that originated in Q4 of 2019.
Okay, so
6 months later.
6 months later.
Okay, so in June for that group, in June of 2020, 1.11% of them had gone delinquent.
Yes.
So then we compare that to the vintage of Q4 of 2021. people who originated loans in October, November, December of 2021. So this is like not even before the aspects of our current financial crisis. 1.32%.
So
are already delinquent by June of 2022. So we are starting to see that the vintage performance is performing worse than prior years. When we look at the CFPB data that they saw, there was a 33% increase from the vintage of deep subprime borrowers 2 quarters in. So after 2 quarters, 33% more of them had gone default or had stopped, gone delinquent, stopped paying for their loan relative to prior years. So it's when we start to look at these particular cohorts or vintages that we can see the leading indicators. Okay, the performance is not as good as it has been in the past.
And it'll probably continue to get worse.
And that'll ultimately lead to more repossessed vehicles. More repossessed vehicles end up as supply in the used car market should continue to push prices down there. And we're in an environment where interest rates continue to go up. So ultimately, what this nets out to is a better buyer's market, sort of. There's going to be less demand and there's going to be more supply. So if you had to buy a car, I guess it becomes a better market. It's really kind of crappy to think that like repossessed cars are going to become some of the supply in the used car market. But like that's what we're seeing here.
Well, you got to get supply from somewhere.
That's what we're seeing.
Yes. No, absolutely.